Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 25 of the Iron Glide Iron Teeth hard mode playthrough. Today we will be finishing this power station before shutting down this power station, and we will also be looking to move, well, all of this around here. There's a few little bits and pieces they've got to finish off, so some dirt just needs to be laid appropriately, and then we need to cover this up to make it a little bit nicer. Technically we don't actually need to fill this in, but we're gonna. We have the dirt for it, so it should be fine. And generally tidy up this mountain just a little bit. I would like to plant some more trees. We are going to have to deal with bad water being a bit of a problem, but that should be fairly solvable by building some pumps in, I guess, this little bit here, to be honest. We need to be mindful that there isn't that much space up here, so what I think we're going to do is just fill this in and pretend it does not exist. But that gives us a lot more of this area to play with ultimately, so I would like to get this done first, and hopefully that should rearrange some of Beaver's priorities. Last time we had quite a long, I think it was bad tide, which depleted a lot of the water supplies, so with any luck this isn't a short temperate cycle, but we will see. We are finally seeing water return through here. We also probably need to do something to fix this. So last time, if we just zoom under the water, effectively it was a case of blowing this to the deepest point possible. So this is not ideal timing, but this is as deep as this will go. But it does mean we have to wait quite a while to get the water into this bit. Now, I'm not entirely sure the best way to deal with this, if I'm totally honest. It could be that this needs to get ripped out when it's dry, not now. Blow all of this up and potentially just run it all the way through, and then, I mean, it isn't really a massive problem. Obviously we need storage, but we need to get this to water all of this, so we will think about that and my incessant rambling later. Good, these are done, so we can rip these out. We no longer need them. We'll come get the bits for that. And I'm not sure if they ever built everything underneath here. I can't really tell if these are in fact covered. I assume so, because it says they're not needing to be built, but I would have anticipated a little bit better in terms of bad tide protection, but seemingly not. So in fact, I'm a complete and total idiot. I have failed with all majesty, so let me just fix that. The reason why it doesn't work is again because I'm an idiot, but why? Yes. So the key to making these work is to actually install the irrigation barrier. This one here is actually what we needed. No, me neither. But we will get that in place, and hopefully that'll make that look a little bit neater and tidier for us. So, with all of these in place, we do need to lay some more of these in. So let's just chuck those in while we have opportunity. Put those back in. I don't think we need the paths here, to be fair, so let's just rip these out. And we are going to need to spend some science. So these are probably going to be a problem, but I think for now we just do this and do this and scoot over here and do this. We can let that thing churn through that. So what do we need? 3,200 science. It's kind of going to be a bit fun for that one. We're going to need to let it run for these. So we are probably going to need to install another one of these somewhere. But this is complete actually. So once that bit's in, which looks to be like it just needs to be hit with a hammer, we should be able to turn this bad boy on. Of these two, I would like them to do this one first, just because I want to hang the bad water pumps off the side here. So that's just going to be a case of... is it going to be a case of... It would be nice if it was. I think I'm going to do this. Well, damn. Sadly, we can't do that. So, can we cheese this? The answer is yes, of course we can cheese it, but... if we take that out, I'm going to go with a 3. And we'll also need to get that done with the high priority also. So, where were we? That's right, bad water pumps. So, that out the way. Is it worth flipping? I think so. We do this. Oh yeah. Let's rip that out. How many do we have down here? 4. So that pretty much keeps up with our current construction. We could fill this in the back and put some more the opposite way and just bridge across, so we'll keep that one in mind. We have the bits for this. Yes, we do, so that's fine. And we will just need to pad this up, which is probably just going to be an easy way to do it, is that. And it's probably best to also think about storage. So I think before we had a giant tank, but I don't really want to do that. What would be better here, I think, is getting this big beastie in here, because it can feed power to pretty much wherever else we need it, to be honest. So let's chuck that in. The water is filling up quite nicely. We're not overspilling yet, so don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Certainly not given the fact that we're in a drought as of, well, now. So we've got what we've got. So I will leave them to pump this for a bit longer. I might be an idea to reduce these numbers just a tiny bit. This will be paused. There we go. So we'll let them pump that dry, because then we can facilitate dealing with this, I think. It may be a case that we use the tunnels to deal with some of that, as we have access around that thing. And just chimble basically straight all the way through without having to worry about ripping this out. So this is our little convoluted access to it, I suppose. It could have been more efficient at the time, but I don't really want to rip it out just yet, although we do have access otherwise. So actually, While it is efficient, it is going to go away. As I would like to actually rip it out. So, let's just even this out, as it is technically more storage for water, but bit of a stretch, I will grant you. But anyway. Where's that little path? Let's get this put in here. They should be able to reach this with the power of that. We just have to double blast that, so that's not too much of an issue. So, over here, they have not got around to any of that yet, so it is nighttime for them though, so we'll just have to wait to finish up there. The motivarium is in. Not very popular, but with the bots that come, we can reduce the work days to something a bit more palatable for the beavers. But obviously we need this in to make that function. What we can also look to get into here is this bad boy. So I don't think it fits, but we can butcher something in place to make that work, as that's got quite a heft of range. It would be nicer, I think, to sit here, which I think we're going to do. So, probably could do with concentrating on something else. However, we are just going to go for it. So, if it was in the back, it needs to be around here. So, I think we're just going to be filling this in for one. Why not do that? And just need to get them over here. So, let's just... hopefully we can do this. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much. The system works. So, we can bodge in that, and then they should be able to pretty much get all of that. But let's make sure they can. In fact, let's just delete that a second. We need to think logically with this. So if this thing sits on here, in mostly the middle, we are likely going to need... no, we are going to need power. In fact, we're going to need more power than that. That's... I thought there were 400. Never mind. So that can't be built yet because that's... where's that space? That need that first? Oh, it's... oh no, that should be enough. Oh, it's probably this. Yes, okay, fine. So we are going to be a little bit zesty with the plan on this one. So I think this isn't going to make a lot of sense now, and it may not actually work, but we're going to do it. So I'd like to blow those out, and I'd like to blow these out. And let's put that bridge back in. And then what we're going to do is run the power just straight along, straight up to one of these two. I suppose we probably should decide which. Probably the middle one, to be honest. Guess that's about the middle-ish, kinda. So yeah, we'll just run the power up this one here. So knock that down to 2, run it straight up the middle. We'll cover the rest of what we've just blown out with dirt after we've laid in the power cables this way. But we'll leave them to that. Let's see. So they're doing that. They must have finished this, which they have. You need power, which is fine. And now that we have that up here, we should be able to build at least some of these. So if these are so I'm not sure the ratios of these. I think it's 4 to 2. I can't remember what we did the last one, to be fair. But I am going to put these on top. Oh, they didn't take long to finish that, did they? So chassis, heads. Is it 5? Can't actually remember. I think you need 1 for limbs, if I remember rightly, so I guess chassis, heads, limbs, and I guess heads, whatever. Run this in. We also need to obviously get up here, so that's going to be I'm going to try and make this fancy, and I will fail miserably, but I'm going to try. So let's... Yeah, that's not going to work that way. So we need some way to get them in, and it's annoyingly centered, so... Still not enough. Still not enough. This is a massive vanity project, I think, but we're doing it anyway. Like so. At least that's the plan anyway. So we'll have this ugly path in here. And that should bring that all to life. Now we'll need to worry about storage as well at some point. Let's jump up later. There's no power in here, so it's kind of useless at the minute, which is okay. So then they can get built. So now it's other industry. So this is going to stay. We'll need to run the power in to that. Probably rip out the scaffolding and just run it straight through, to be fair. This can stay for now. But other than that, production looks to be holding steady. So that is going up quite nicely. So let's just have a quick count of those. Scrap is going to be a problem at some point, but not quite yet. So I think it's just 3 smelters to cover everything we used to have anyway. We've got 2 wood workshops, I believe, yes. And I don't think we'll need 2 of these guys. If I'm totally honest, I think we can probably live without them. Don't know if we're going to be demolishing stuff. We can always build another one, I suppose. So let's get those in. So Let's see, wood. So, that is going to be a problem, actually. So, how will we run power into this? For now, just rip that out. So let's put that there, that there. Get smelter. Those in. And I think the kaboom stick maker. It should go in there actually, quite nicely. In fact, so let's do that. We also need to run power into this thing, so that can be easily achieved with not that. Fine. Be awkward. This one in. And where was we? This guy. So they're all flipped. They didn't need to be, but they are. Just because. So that's the heavy industry. So we just need to build something along the lines of these bad boys over here. So what have we got for gears? It's 3 gears and six planks. So that is probably still overkill. What we like planks? We are full. Okay, so I think we're going to need to build some more. These just out here. In fact, I am going to rip that out. I don't think there's anyone up here, so they'll build what they can with whatever they've got. So let's just get this in. It's not going to be quite as nice as it could be, but kind of is what it is. And I guess short term we can just chuck in the staircase. As up here, we are going to lay in all of the good stuff that we're going to put in for this. So these can just go back to back. Probably didn't need to build these, but okay. So path. Let's just rip these out. Let's use the tool. Let's be clever. Let's get rid of that. That'd be nice if that fit in there, but never mind. I think that's enough. I'm just going to leave it in 3 and 3. We can expand out if necessary onto this bit. But we do need storages. They are going to be very important to keep this thing well stocked. So let's just sort out the path first. Otherwise, it will be not particularly fun. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame we've got this little jut here. Gods. I know. I'm sorry. It will stop messing around at some point. We're still stuck with the path, but it does fit a little bit nicer, I think. But anyway. Right. What was on this side? It was Kaboom Shop, followed by the Metal Shop, followed by Sparkly Blanco. And yes, you guessed it. Gonna delete this one, which we've just built. But never mind. It will be back momentarily, like so. We just need to do something interesting with power to get that piped in, but I think, to be all fairness, we'll just chuck it in this corner. Power and cut it to there. It sits better on here for my OCD reasons. But anyway, for the time being, this area is kind of mega off limits for them all, but we'll worry about that later. But we do need the storages, so that's going to be a case of I think so. We need that for the bird water. And we probably need, in fact, we definitely need centrifuge put in. I think one is enough. As the tank's kind of full, we've been running on one for a while, so I'm just gonna put this one here and get rid of that I just put in, which I know we don't need, but we can, now that I realise I forgot all this, do this kind of abomination. It's a bit of a shame that you can't control that, but whatever. Someone's likely to get stuck doing this, so let's just stop their gallop while we can. So that's bad water. We're looking at storages, so we need another tank, I think. So let's get this one. This can be for the extract. And what else have we got down here? Bad water, centrifuge, got those. Number cruncher. I think that's it. I actually think that's it. Yeah, that is it. That's everything. So, let's see if we can be a little bit cleverer with tube-way station. Ooh, could do this. Could very well easily do this. We're going to do this. Okay, so let's get that pumped in there and pipe that up. It kind of throws off the symmetry, I know, but can't really do too much about it, if I'm totally honest. I mean, I could do loads about it, if I'm totally honest, but yeah. For now, I'm just going to leave it as is. And then this, thanks, this tube-way station here is just going to go straight up and into that, so they can come out of here. Bots can come straight onto the line and do whatever it is they're going to do. So, yeah, good. Right, so, there are 9 beavers with absolutely nothing to do, so let's first of all kaboom these. And how much water's left in this? 0.27. We have 8 days. I don't think anything dies in 8 days. These might. Oh no, it is 8 days. let's let that get down to 7, and then we will break this with some tunnels. In fact, are we going to have to roll this out? The answer is probably, actually. So, yeah, it is. It is going to have to be that way. So let's just get scaffolding put in for this, I think. So let's get this one in. Do we want to use one of these, or should I use a bridge? No, we can't use a bridge. Let's get that back in, and then they can reconnect this. And I think we can get away with this. They can reach that, so they should be able to diagonally get it for both of those. And we're kind of stuck to get anything further than that, unfortunately. Yeah, because I need to make a little extra zone out on the front, I think, so I'm just going to do that. They won't be able to build that. Why is this not planted? That'll help. So, let's zoom back over here. See how far they got with this abomination. Pretty far, actually. Okay. Do this, please. Pains me having to do these one by one. Do this, please. How is that too far? There's literally a path here. Oh, how are they getting up then? How are they getting up? Oh, they're just walking up, aren't they? Okay, so let's just do that. I knew they'd do it. I mean, no one got stuck, so beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Should be supply. And it should also be supply with the haulers. That's been a nice stint in our resources anyway. A very nice dent. So most of this is useless right now because obviously there's no power. Let's start by running that in. In fact, let's start by putting that in, as it's going to be one of these that runs like this across here. I know that's kind of butchered pathing, but let it go, let it go. We can live with it. I can live with it. We can all live with it. And then we can just do this. And then this and that. And with that, they are connected. Prioritize this, please. As soon as this is done, we can seal this up. Not again that there's any power, but all we need to do is close these ones here and the power should start surging through. I think we will be ready. Obviously, if these ever get done, please, for the love of God. I don't need these. I need these. This. Why are you paused? I'm an idiot. One day, I will figure out how to play this game. I promise. But until that day comes, I'm afraid you're gonna have to just shout at me profusely. Please. Oh, God. Cool. Oh. Please, someone, for the love of all that is beaver unholy, just put the log in, hit it with a hammer. I beg of you. Thank you. Okay, so now becomes the interesting bit of sorting out this power shaft here. It is gonna have to be another case of it's not going to work, that, so let's split that out. Power, get that dumped in there. This will work. We didn't need these, but we've got them, so that should be buildable for everything because of the power of the tubes. And we are about ready to turn this off. So let's close this. And if my calculations are anywhere near remotely correct, which they're likely not, water should be going this way, which it is. Okay, so the only thing that's powering this now should be this. We are cooking with gas by the looks of this, or at least bad water. We still need to work on some storages in here. I know that's a problem for sorting out soon. We got down here yet? We do have some water down here. Oops, wrong key. So I'm hoping it speeds up, because that's, well, I suppose actually it is enough, because it's got all this to power, so let's shut this down. That should be everything in this area shut down, apart from the number cruncher. We'll leave that guy running, just because we can. For now, anyway. It's nighttime, so that's not a true reflection, but it is still going up, so I'm encouraged by these numbers. I'm very encouraged. And after about 10, 20 episodes of building this thing, it is now working. I'm so pleased. I am actually pleased. Is this hole big enough? So it looks like it is. What might be fun is somewhere in here, stream gauge. What is our flow? I am mildly curious. 1.4? It's okay, I think. I think that's okay. It's kind of terrible, the power, though. It's not doing as much as I would hope. Okay, so does this maybe need some tweaks? So let's think about this properly. Let's just dig down. So, keep saying so a lot. I should stop saying so a lot. I wonder if some of these issues for this is because we're expanding out to 4. Nice. I wonder then, is it going to be they can build these, so tubes should help with this, I think. With any luck, we'll make this more efficient, maybe. That certainly helped on there. That certainly helped on there. Okay. Maybe that was the correct thing to do. We don't have any issues with anything backing up. Which I would be surprised if we did. Let's go down some more then. And in theory, it should be a case of doing this and this. Should be able to reach that from above also, which is the wonder of beaver power. I guess it'll make it just a little bit deeper. Okay, so now it will be dropping down to the next level. A little bit better, maybe. Really? Okay, so I don't think there's too much more that we can do, if I'm honest. Oh well. I mean, it'll either... It's kind of surging, which is odd, but... As long as this number is bigger than the total power output, I am cool with it. We have a bot, which is nice. So, what to get them working on first? So, I believe the first job they can do is mine. So they can work on that. We do need to think about charging these things, which is probably about the right time to realise I've made a terrible mistake of putting this in here, but never mind. So, charging. I'm hoping that this power works through the floor, which it should do. Seems to. That's fine. So that should be enough to charge the bots at least up here. I do want to... Oop, got too far. Do want to see if we can get away with putting a bot charger down here. Now to do that, that's going to need some interesting setup for an engine. Which we kind of don't have the space for. I mean, we do. I could just ever building these, I guess. Power is here. Let's get that engine placed. Oh, well. Whoopsie. No. Nice try, but that's my bad. Sorry, beavers. Very much my bad. So, where were we? Engine. Q. Let's get that placed in. Here, I guess. And then it. Just need a little bit of power in this corner to do that. That should fit. Ugly, I know, but hey, it'll do. Get those iron bots in. We can start sorting out our scrap as we are out. Let's get that prioritised by the haulers, and they should get everything topped up for there. So I'm hoping 4 is enough. We can fit some more in, to be fair, but do that. So the main thing is where they're being made, and down there is fine for what we need. Eventually, once that's full, we will transfer them into building themselves, which may or may not be a good idea, but we are going to do it that way anyway. And then underneath here, just to beautify it just a little bit. I do want to install... Aha! 1 second. Hold that thought. Let's get these guys back into here. That was a nice short drought for us, although we didn't actually do anything here, did we? Which Kinda yikes. I guess if we're quick, we can fix this. But let's kaboom these. These should. I was at 1.6. Right, let's stop messing about. We need to get this ripped out and now. So landscaping. Blow all of this out, please. And I guess these. Good. Okay, so now we just need to lay in on a dam. Do I want a dam or do I want a sluice? If I was to put a sluice here, it would only ever register that depth, which is not what we want. So it is going to have to be another case of these, and then a sluice, as we had before. And then it's just going to be dams all the way up. Pretty much rebuilding what we ripped out to start with, so it's just going to be these guys on the top. Them to there, and then I would like all of this done. This is the most important job we have. How? How? I am at a loss for words. You absolute tool. I don't even know how that beaver came down here to build that in the first place. What? Can you build that? And then can you build that? Apparently you can. Oh good, you escaped, you absolute idiot. So now there's more crap down here that we can't get rid of. Yeah, alright, so yeah, we're kind of stuck waiting for them to... I don't think there's a better way of dealing with this, if I'm totally honest, but we've evened it out at least. It should start spilling in anytime soon. 0.6 before. The fact is, I think we've got too much pumping going on, if I'm totally honest, but meh. Is what it is. Where was we? Ah, yes, down here. So, in the irrigation barrier. And I'm hoping that this fixes a lot of the issues with the contamination. Not sure if it... See, it does seem to work uphill, so that's okay. Is that pulling back from there? Yeah, it seems to be. Awesome. So that should pull that back. There'll be bits on here, but there's nothing we can do about that. But it does mean we have this nice clean area up here, ready and waiting to, well, plant some trees, I suppose. This can go. Get rid of that. Do we need this anymore? No, we don't, because we have the tube-way station. So let's just tidy up all this noise. I think it's just leave that in for now. So this area is going to be for trees. So I think the middle bit is going to be, based on my eyes, here, here, here. We're going for there. We're going for there. So that's well connected. That's fine. I'd like to switch this over to bots. This should now be full, which it is. So dangerous job main, dangerous job second is good. These should get fixed eventually. We need to get them into these things. That's 5k, which we do not have. That's 10k, which we definitely don't have. We may make benefit of these ones. That's 2k, which we do have. I'm going to say that I get a bot in there when one comes available. We seem to be doing quite badly on food, so let's concentrate on the bio beavers for a second or 5 and see what's going on up here. So we seem to be churning through all of the canola oil. Rabies are terrible. Let's just rip more of that out. There's another farm somewhere, this guy. I'm gonna get you to prioritize anything. These guys should be able to rip everything out as well, so I guess let's get one of you prioritized on that. One rip it out, one plant it. Right, so we have 1 million corn rations, which is fine. Eggplants are okay. Soybeans are coming in. Yeah, I think we're going to need more farm, to be honest. Oh, yeah, this has got done, hasn't it? So let's ruin this. Hopefully this works. So let's chuck this guy in here. I believe. Can we do this? We can. Can we do this? we can. Need significantly less resources. Okay, so good news. We are putting this in like so. And then we are doing this like so. And then we are doing this like so. And I'm hoping that power works through the bottom. Okay, we're not doing that just yet, but the thought's there. And that's the main thing. But they'll get around to that to build it tomorrow. Bad tide is approaching. Water is nearly full actually, so that is perfect news. Yeah, so what do we do? What do we do about the fact we're struggling for all of these? So why is this now a problem? Where else is canola used? It's going to do with the bots. Don't believe so. Yoda's planks. Yoda's planks. Yes, so that's fine. This is treated planks, which I'm doing okay with. We have a ton of seeds, but not enough squeezing capacity. So, is that just meaning we're needing to squeeze some more? I guess so. So I'll put that in. Let's see if that improves this guy. And that goes into the rations, which we're okay for. That doesn't do anything. I don't. That's just fermenting. That's just takes those. We have 1 million soybeans as well, so. But that's it. We're okay. We're full on those. I think we just need more planting. So the question then is, does this... Yeah, there's a bad tide. 17 day, that's fine. Mangrove fruits are never going to be great because we just don't have the capacity to sort of grow them that well. But it is slightly concerning that this reservoir doesn't actually get full these days. Not a fan, but anyway. So cassavas. It is just pulling them out the ground that's the problem. Okay, so this is the bit I don't get, is that these guys have the full reach yet they'd never touch this thing, and it really, really annoys me. So if you're harvesting, you can harvest cassavas, please. These are cassavas, and in theory you should be dealing with those, so if you're harvesting, I guess, cassavas? coal rabbits will just come out as they come out, I suppose. But yes, so does this area here become, instead of planting, becomes something else? Why is this still contaminated? Let's just... No, is it just this? Right, okay, so in that case... we can make this easy on ourselves by doing this, I think. So it could be that this needs to be a farm rather than anything else, so that's something to consider. Of course you are. Oh, of course you are. Thank you. Let's boom these. And we'll do the usual of water dumping into this. So fluid dump. There we go. So that should greenify all of this area. At least that's the hope. And good. So this is now fully protected. I am quite tempted to fill that in. Let's just come out of that zoom view. I'm very tempted to fill that in. I wonder. And I'm hoping that they're clever enough to go this way. I bet they're not, but I hope they are. Okay, so that's not yet full, but it will be soon. Disappointing about this little area, but would have been nice for that to reach, but never mind. Oh, it isn't actually quite full, so maybe it will. I don't think it will. So if this is going to become farm, it may be a better idea then to put the farms over here. Just run a cheeky little path through all that. There's nothing we can really do with this. It's kind of stuck. We'll think about that next time. So let's just do a little recap. We have moved the industry into this nice compact little area here. We need a lot of science to churn in so that we can at least get well, probably this guy turned off, to be fair. Everything should now be powered at full power, but we need that to be able to get them into these dangerous jobs, so I guess sparkly planks and whatnot will need to follow sooner rather than later. Obviously the injured beavers is low, we're not burning through those, but we need to get bots into this thing, so we need more of them, but we just have to wait for this thing to do its thing. But yes, the power plant is running. We can see it spinning all the time, so that's nice. There's probably something that needs to be done with sorting out the tiles, but I think we're okay. We make quite a lot of power at night, weirdly, yet it dips during the day, which is odd. I understand that. We have started work on this bad boy, which will allow us to put in another monument, but we need 12,000 science for this, which we are nowhere near getting. But we've laid in the groundwork for that anyway, so that'll be good for that. And yeah, we are still kind of stuck for power at water, should I say. I think there's just too many pumps and not enough sources, but it's probably a good thing to be, I guess. And I don't think we actually fixed this, but I think we did. Don't ask me how I think we did, but I'm confident we did. And we also now need to think quite carefully about farming. So, again, do we turn this area into Treeville or Farmville? And that's going to be next episode's conundrum to solve. We'll tidy up this area as well, so we'll bin all this. We may do another layer of farming and or trees, and just I guess unnaturalify, if that's a word, the hills that we have available, just to get some extra space. But anyway, that's enough for me rambling this episode. If you have any comments, please chuck them down below. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.